found his phone 3 days later, half submerged in Miller Creek. The screen was cracked, but the recording was still there. 14 minutes of static, rustling leaves, and then, in the final 30 seconds, a voice. Soft, sweet, singing a hymn no one in town had heard in decades. And beneath it, barely audible, a boy whispering, "I see her." That boy was 17-year-old Eli Morrison, and he never came home. This is the story of the girl who sang in the woods, and the town that warned him not to listen. Before we dive deeper, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. We'd love to hear from you. And if you're new here, click on the subscribe button so you never miss any of our upcoming videos. Miller Creek is a town you'd never find unless you were looking for it. Tucked deep in the folds of the Appalachian Mountains in West Virginia, it's the kind of place where everyone knows your name and no one locks their doors. The population hovers around 800. Most families have been there for generations. Coal miners, loggers, small business owners. Life moves slowly. People like it that way. But there's one thing everyone in Miller Creek agrees on. You don't go into the woods after dark, not near the creek, not near the old mining road, and especially not if you hear singing. The locals don't talk about it much with outsiders, but if you stay long enough, if you earn their trust, someone will eventually pull you aside and tell you about Lila Mae Carter. And once you hear her name, you'll understand why the forests around Miller Creek feel different. Lila Mae Carter was born in 1924, the youngest of 4 children. Her father worked in the coal mines. Her mother took in laundry. They lived in a small cabin just off the main road, about a mile from what's now called Miller Creek Woods. Lila Mae was known for her voice and her kindness. Every Sunday she'd sing in the choir at the Baptist church on the hill. People said her voice could make grown men cry. Clear as a bell, they'd say, like an angel. On the evening of October 14th, 1938, Lila Mae left choir practice just before sunset. It was a Thursday. She was carrying her songbook, a worn, leather-bound hymnal her grandmother had given her. The walk home was less than 2 miles, a dirt path through the woods she'd walked 100 times before. Her mother expected her by 6, but 6 o'clock came and went, then 7, then 8. By 9, her father had gathered a search party. They searched for 3 days, and on the 3rd day, they found her songbook floating in the creek, pages swollen with water, but they never found Lila Mae. The official report listed her as a runaway, but her mother refused to believe it. She said something took her, and in the months that followed, the whispers started. Hikers claimed they heard singing near the creek at dusk, a young girl's voice, thin and distant, carrying through the trees. At first, people thought it was grief playing tricks, but then more reports came in. A hunter heard it in 1939. Teenagers heard it in 1941. A miner walking home late swore he heard a girl singing, "Come Home, Child," a hymn Lila Mae used to sing in church. He followed the sound and got lost for 6 hours. When they found him the next morning, he was delirious, soaked in creek water, muttering about a girl in a white dress. He never went near the woods again. By the 1950s, the legend had cemented itself. Parents told their children not to wander after dark. Some said Lila Mae's spirit was trapped. Others believed something older used her voice to lure others. Either way, the message was clear. If you hear her singing, don't follow it. Just turn around and leave. Eli Morrison was 17 when he moved to Miller Creek with his mother, Claire, in the fall of 2018. She'd taken a teaching job at the local elementary school after his parents' divorce. Eli hated it. He was used to the suburbs of Richmond, fast Wi-Fi, late-night diners, friends he'd known since middle school. Miller Creek felt like stepping back in time. To cope, Eli started a podcast called Folklore Fabrications. He'd investigate local legends, debunk them, and expose the psychological reasons people believed in ghosts and curses. He had a small following, a few hundred listeners. And when he heard about the girl who sang in the woods, he knew he'd found his next episode. He first heard the story from a classmate named Jenna. She mentioned it casually one day after school. Eli pressed her for details. She told him the basics: the missing girl, the hymn, the reports. Eli smiled. This was perfect. a small-town ghost story with just enough history to make it interesting. He started researching. He found a few references to Lila Mae Carter in old newspaper archives, a brief mention of her disappearance, a short obituary, but no details. He asked around town. Most people were reluctant to talk, but one man was willing. His name was Raymond Hodge. He was in his 70s, a retired coal miner who spent most of his days sitting outside the hardware store. Eli approached him one afternoon with a recorder in hand. Raymond looked at him for a long time before speaking. Then he said, "You want to know about the girl in the woods?" Eli nodded. Raymond sighed. "My brother Danny heard her. Back in 1963, he was 19. Thought the whole thing was nonsense. Went out there one night with a flashlight, said he was going to prove everyone wrong." Raymond paused. They found him 2 days later, soaking wet, sitting by the creek, staring at nothing. He wouldn't talk for a week. When he finally did, all he'd say was, "She wanted me to stay." He was never the same after that. Died young. Heart attack at 32. Raymond looked Eli in the eye. "Whatever's out there, it don't care if you believe in it or not." Eli thanked him, but he wasn't convinced. He didn't believe in ghosts, but he believed in good content. So he planned a trip. He convinced 2 friends from school, Marcus and Brianna, to come with him. It was late October, a Friday night. They packed flashlights, snacks, and Eli's recording equipment. The plan was simple. Camp near the creek. Record overnight. If anything weird happened, document it. They parked on the old mining road just before sunset and hiked in. The woods were thick, dense with oak and pine. Fog clung to the ground. They reached a clearing near the creek around 8, set up camp. Eli positioned his recorder on a tripod. They sat and waited. For the first hour, nothing happened. Just crickets, wind, the occasional rustle of something small moving through the brush. And then, just past 9:30, Eli heard it. Faint, distant. A voice, singing. He pulled off his headphones. "Do you guys hear that?" Marcus looked up. "Hear what?" "Listen." They went quiet. Brianna sat up. "I hear something, like humming." The sound was coming from deeper in the woods past the creek. Soft, melodic. A hymn. Eli recognized the tune. "Come home, child." Brianna grabbed his arm. "Eli, don't. I just want to get closer. I need a clean recording." But Eli was already moving. He crossed the creek. The others followed reluctantly. The deeper they went, the clearer the voice became. Words now, slow, haunting. "Come home, child. The night is long. Come home, child, where you belong." Eli's heart pounded. He raised the recorder. His phone showed the waveform spiking, but there was something else. A second waveform, overlapping, like 2 voices singing at once. He stopped. The singing stopped. The woods went silent. Not quiet, silent. No crickets, no wind, nothing. Brianna whispered, "Eli, we need to go." He turned to respond, and that's when he saw it, just beyond the tree line, barely visible in the fog. A figure, small, pale, standing perfectly still. It looked like a girl, in a white dress. Her head was tilted slightly. Eli's breath caught. "Do you see that?" Marcus and Brianna followed his gaze. Brianna gasped. The figure didn't move. And then, softly, a voice. Not from the figure, from everywhere. "Sing with me." Eli's flashlight flickered. His phone screen glitched. And in that moment of darkness, the figure was gone. They ran, all 3 of them, crashing through the woods, back toward the clearing. They didn't stop until they reached the car. That night, Eli couldn't sleep. He replayed the footage over and over. The voice was there, clear, unmistakable. And in the final frame before his phone glitched, just for a split second, you could see her. A girl, pale skin, dark hair, eyes that didn't reflect the light. He knew he should leave it alone, but he couldn't. He had to go back. 2 nights later, he did. Alone this time. He told his mom he was staying at Marcus's house. Instead, he drove to the woods. This time, he went straight to the creek. The singing started almost immediately, closer than before. He followed it, and then he saw something he hadn't noticed before. A rusted metal cross, half buried in the dirt. Beside it, a broken music box. He knelt down, picked it up. The mechanism was corroded, but he could still make out the melody. It was the same hymn. His phone buzzed. A text from his mom. "Where are you?" He started to reply, but the singing grew louder. Right behind him. He turned. She was standing there, 5 feet away, the girl in the white dress. Her face was pale, almost translucent. Her eyes were dark, hollow, but her expression was soft, sad. She opened her mouth, and the hymn poured out. Eli's phone slipped from his hand. He tried to speak, but his voice wouldn't come. She took a step closer and whispered, "Sing with me." The search began the next morning. Claire Morrison woke to find Eli's bed empty. His car was gone. By noon, the sheriff's department was involved. They traced his phone to the woods, found his car on the mining road. A search team went in. They found his campsite torn apart, his recorder smashed, his backpack ripped open, and his phone lying in the creek, screen cracked but still recording. The file was 14 minutes long. Most of it was static. Footsteps, heavy breathing, and then, in the final 30 seconds, a voice, Eli's voice, barely audible. "I see her." And then, another voice, soft, young, singing. The search continued for weeks. Dogs, drones, volunteers, but they never found Eli Morrison, just like they never found Lila Mae Carter. The case was eventually closed, listed as a missing person, presumed dead. But the reports didn't stop. Hikers near Miller Creek Woods claimed they heard singing again. Only now, it wasn't just one voice. It was 2. A duet. A boy and a girl, singing together in the dark. The town doesn't talk about it much anymore. But every October, on the anniversary of Lila Mae's disappearance, the church on the hill holds a candlelight vigil. They sing hymns, they pray, and they warn their children. Don't go into the woods after dark. Don't follow the singing. Because if you do, you might not come back. And if you're unlucky enough to hear it, that soft, haunting melody drifting through the trees, just remember, it's not human. It never was. Some say Lila Mae is still looking for someone to walk her home. Others believe something older took her voice, and now it collects others. Either way, the woods remember, and they're always listening. So if you ever find yourself in the mountains of West Virginia, near a town called Miller Creek, and the sun starts to set, and you hear a voice singing in the distance, don't stop. Don't look. And whatever you do, don't sing along, because once you do, you're not leaving. You'll become part of the song, just like Eli, just like Lila Mae. Forever. This was The Girl Who Sang in the Woods, a true American folklore horror story. If this story gave you chills, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. And tell us in the comments, what would you have done if you heard that singing? Would you have followed it, or would you have run? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Until next time, stay safe, and remember, some legends are warnings. Thanks for watching.